Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's workshop, 6 Ways to Keep Your Immune System Strong. My name is Michelle Jones, and I would like to introduce you to Dr. Diana Fleming. She is the PhD nutritionist here at Full Plate Living, and today Diana is going to be talking to us about our immune system. So hi, Diana.
Hi, Michelle, and hello to everybody.
So Diana is going to start the workshop in just a few minutes, but I wanted to cover a couple things. First of all, I noticed that a lot of you are already saying hi in the chat. So hi, Kathy, Richard, Mary, Judy. It's a pleasure, again, to have you with us today. I'm glad you're already using the chat function because we want you to be on there. If you have any questions during the workshop, please write them in, and we will be sure to cover them at the end. We will have a live Q&A, so any questions that you have will get answered at the end of the workshop. Diana, I think at this time we are ready to go.
All right. 6 ways to keep your immune system strong. I'm so excited that we get to talk about this today. So I just want to take a couple minutes to just define what the immune system is, since that's what we're talking about. So think about your immune system as your defense system. So this system in the body is designed to defend us from harmful pathogens without and within. And the immune system is incredibly complex. It's made up of numerous specialized immune cells, proteins, tissues, and organs. So it is just very intricate and complex. And these immune features of the body and the specialized immune cells, they are in constant communication with each other. Intricate, complicated communications. And this system is pervasive. That means it's all over the body. We have immune cells circulating in our bloodstream and lymph all the time, looking for problems. So the important point that I want everybody to take home, one of the most important points that I want you to take home from this is the immune system is a system, a complicated, pervasive system. It is not a single entity. And that's important because that means that no single magic bullet, food, supplement, herb, oil, or pill is the answer to a strong immune system. And you know, we are constantly bombarded by this concept, you know, take this pill, take this oil. You know, we see it in social media, we see it in television, we see it in writing, we see it in health food stores. You know, this is the magic bullet for your immune system. That is really impossible based on the complexity and intricacy of the immune system and the immune cells. In fact, medical scientific researchers are constantly learning more about how the immune system works, how the cells communicate with each other, how they operate in the body. So it's way too inaccurate or simplistic to think that one thing is going to give you a strong immune system. So we are going to use this infographic, this simple infographic created by the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, a nonprofit organization which we support. And it deals with 6 broad lifestyle categories that actually affect whether our immune system is working well, whether it is strong. I actually am a certified lifestyle medicine nutritionist. So here's the infographic. We're going to take the 30,000-foot view of each one of these. And I noticed that the infographic says lifestyle choices to boost immunity. I want you to think about the word boost in the sense of supporting the healthy functioning of the immune system. It is not meant boost in the sense of causing the immune system to be hyperactive or overreactive. That is not good. That leads to allergies and autoimmune diseases. So we're boosting the immune system in the sense of supporting its healthy functioning. And it is an incredible system when it is able to work well. It's amazing at keeping us healthy. And look, It's our defense system. If our defense system isn't healthy, then we aren't healthy. So having a well-functioning immune system is actually foundational to health. All right. So anything you want to add, Michelle?
No, I completely agree. That's true.
Okay. So let's start with the first one up in the left corner. Mind your stress. So remember, this is a 30,000-foot view. We're not doing a deep dive into any of these, but just so that we become aware of lifestyle factors affecting a healthy immune system. So you need to understand that stress actually increases levels of the stress hormone cortisol, and cortisol suppresses your immune response. And it isn't the occasional stress that's the issue, it's the chronic stress that impairs the immune system. So one thing to help keep a strong immune system is to mind our stress. What does that mean? That means, taking a little inventory on things that are stressors for us, and then applying stress relieving techniques. And one category is relaxation techniques. And there's a lot of them. We've listed some here: deep breathing, meditation, prayer, yoga. Engaging in a hobby is often very stress relieving. I can think of that personally. Exercise neutralizes stress. And I'm not talking about intense physical activity. I'm not talking about ultra marathon preparation, none of that. But just walking. Walking is a great de-stressor. So, think about what your stressors are, and then you can apply some of these relaxation techniques that work in your life, in your lifestyle. Another one is cognitive behavior therapy. It's abbreviated CBT, as you can see there. This is a common type of talk therapy that focuses on challenging and changing unhelpful, distorted thinking that we have. And listen, our unhelpful, distorted thinking stresses us out.
Yes. Yes.
It is a big stressor. And there's all kinds of ways that we do this as human beings. But if you feel that this would be helpful to you, I highly recommend this way of therapy. And we have put here a link, psychologytoday.com/US/therapist/cognitive-behavioral. There it will tell you people who are trained in cognitive behavioral therapy in your neck of the woods, where you live. So if you find yourself captive to stressful, negative thinking, this is a tremendous resource. Okay, anything else you want to add?
I think it's very helpful, and I think sometimes that we feel like saying we need a therapist says that we've lost our minds, and I don't think that's true. I think that all of us are under extreme stress, especially now, especially in the last year, and it's okay to reach out and just kind of get somebody else's perspective. Maybe you don't realize that some of the thoughts you have are creating more stress in your life, and so just talking to somebody through that and having them think of situations or even behaviors in a different perspective can really shed light and give you the positive steps that you can take to come out of that stressful situation.
Absolutely. Great. And this is not long term, it can be short term. All right, so here's another thing in lifestyle that has a very negative impact on our immune system. It's kind of a no-brainer. Smoking. So don't smoke. And so here's the 30,000-foot view. Smoking increases anxiety and tension, which increases stress, and we just learned that stress suppresses the immune system. And we're all aware of the fact that there are many toxic chemicals in cigarette smoke, and actually there's about 250 known harmful chemicals in cigarette smoke, and these weaken the normal defensive function of the immune system. That is not surprising. So if you still smoke, you really want to quit. And the great news is there are so many options for you to help you succeed at quitting today. And if you just go to smokefree.gov, really easy to remember, smokefree, capital S, smokefree.gov, There's all kinds of free information and resources, including helping you create a quit plan. In order to quit smoking, you really do have to come up with a plan, and they will help you do this. They also have smartphone apps and text message programs. And I went to the website, and what I love about it is they break it into age groups all through life. Because some of the things that are important for a young person trying to quit smoking is not maybe applicable to somebody who's older. So they've got it mapped out that way. It's wonderful. And also, this is sort of on common sense. You want to avoid vaping or inhaling any substance which can be toxic to the lungs. All right, great. So number 3, this is so important as well. In fact, all of these are important. You want to get quality sleep. Quality sleep. And you know, Michelle and I were just talking about this before we went live. We are experiencing more quality sleep. We are working on this.
Yes.
Consistent, good quality sleep enhances immune defenses. And a lack of sleep, obviously, does the reverse. It decreases the depresses the immune system. It triggers low-grade inflammation. This is so important to avoid. Look, the inflammatory response is part of an immune response to cutting ourselves to infection, but it is designed to be short-lived, hours to days. Inflammation, chronic inflammation that goes on all the time actually is very detrimental to the immune system being able to defend us when a virus gets in. Mm-hmm. So we don't want things that trigger low-grade inflammation. And guess what? Lack of good quality sleep does that. And the poorer our sleep on a consistent basis, the more likely we are to get sick and to have diseases. So it's very important to get quality sleep. And here is the target that we all need to aim for: 7 to 9 hours a night. 7 to 9 hours a night. And I have included 4 healthy sleep tips. And there's an acronym for these: HARP. So think of harp music, you know, how soft and gentle it is and conducive to sleeping, right? So HARP. First one is have a regular sleep time. This is so important. And, you know, our lifestyle in America is like 24/7, and we kind of are irregular. But having a regular time for going to bed, a regular time for waking up really helps us get quality sleep. Avoid all screens at least 90 minutes before bedtime. This is so important.
It is important.
Yeah, all screens. We're talking TV, phones, video games, laptops, computers, tablets. Don't bring them into your room either. So 90 minutes before, it's because the blue light that they emit will delay our falling asleep. It will suppress melatonin, important for us to fall asleep. So, you know, there are blue light settings on the computer. There are blue light blocking glasses. You might try any of these if you have to work on a computer in the evening, but if you don't, avoid it. Okay, R is for room. Keep your room cool, dark, quiet, and comfortable. Cool, dark, quiet, and comfortable. That kind of sounds nice. It's the bedroom is for 2 functions: sleep or sex. All right. It's not, you know, bring the TV in, you know, bring the food in, bring all the, no. You want your room to be cool, dark, quiet, and comfortable. P of HARP is to practice a wind down ritual. This is so important. You know, evening is not the time to get excited about starting a project, right? And I have developed this wind down ritual that I actually love. And, you know, I actually look forward to it. And so whatever works for you, develop a wind down ritual, reading a book, listening to music, taking a bath, you know, whatever.
Playing with your kids.
Falling
with them.
Yes. What were the ones you mentioned, Michelle?
Cuddling with your children before they go to bed, reading a book with them. That's quality time for them too, and it creates a ritual for them as well.
And connectivity.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we're going to talk about. So listen, those are 4 tips, but there are many more. And if you go to the sleepfoundation.org/sleep-hygiene. Just go to the sleepfoundation.org. They go into detail with these 4 tips as well as others. A lot of helpful information there, and I've spent time there myself. All right, moving on from quality sleep, the 4th lifestyle habit that we want to form is to connect with others. Now, we didn't think about this very much 20 years ago, but science is now realizing that positive human connections are incredibly important for health, vibrant health. So when we talk about connect with others, the term that's often used is connectivity. Mm-hmm. And it is essential for health, and it refers to positive social connections with family and friends. Very simple. We don't even need that fancy word, connectivity, right? But we have wonderful, positive connections with people that mean something that we love, mean something to us. So you can see in this slide, the positive social connections create positive emotions. No surprise there, right? And positive emotions improve immune responses. They enhance resistance to infections, and they enhance resistance to disease. So very straightforward. Social isolation, in contrast, creates negative emotions. And I mean, if we've ever experienced this to any degree, we understand this. Negative emotions suppress immune responses, and they actually have pro-inflammatory effects in our body. Remember, we don't want to do things that create low-grade inflammation, because that makes it harder for our immune system to mount a response to a virus or a bacteria. Mm-hmm. So we don't want negative emotions. They're pro-inflammatory, and they increase the risk of illness and disease. All right, so here's some tips for connecting with others. Oh, and this one applies to what we are experiencing right now during this pandemic. Positive emotions arise from even brief virtual social connections. This is important that we know this. Very important. Because people are isolated, we are having to do Zoom meetings, and so this is what we have put here on our slide. Social distancing does not have to mean social isolation. So, do the Zoom, Facebook, Skype, texting, phone calls, whatever works for you to stay connected with family, friends, or loved ones. And create virtual events that you can do that foster these positive emotions, because you're seeing people you love, you're connecting with them. You can do it for birthdays, for holidays. Even if there is no birthday or holidays, just say, hey,
do it for fun.
Yes, my sisters, they're twins, and then there's another sister. They all live in different places, and they create virtual events with themselves and their best friends. These are best friends they've had since college, and they do this on a regular basis, right? They're always telling me about it. So that's
right. We've had our daughter, she's had virtual painting parties with her friends where they just pull up a YouTube video on how to paint a cactus, and they're all in different places in different households. They don't see each other, but they'll be on there for 2 hours just laughing and painting and having a lot of fun. So yeah, it can be as simple as that.
Isn't that wonderful? That is very cool. I love the picture on the slide, having a birthday party virtually. Look, we all know it's not as best as in-person contact, but it does have positive benefits on our emotions and our immune system. So let's make the best of it while we're in the middle of this situation. All right. So here's the next important lifestyle habit for a strong immune system: get physically active. I must confess, I'm working on this one. And activity, this is sort of a no-brainer. This is common sense. The human body is designed for moving. This is why regular, moderate physical activity, we're not talking about intense ultra marathon stuff. We're not talking about elite athletes, just moderate physical activity. It's essential. It is absolutely essential for keeping the immune system strong. So, couch potatoing for hours a day is not going to promote a strong immune system. So when you're in an exercise session, or some physical activity, more immune cells are actually out surveying the body. Every part of the human body is under immune surveillance all the time. That's why the immune system, I use the word pervasive. It's everywhere. And I'm so glad it is, because it's surveying our body to find problems and get rid of them before we get sick. So during exercise and shortly after, you've got more immune system soldiers out and about, and that's good. Mm-hmm. And you also have an enhanced or increased immune response after exercise for a short period of time. Physical activity, when it's regular and moderate, it decreases your risk of infections, especially upper respiratory infections. This is a common symptom of flus and viruses. So regular physical activity protects against that, and regular moderate physical activity decreases inflammation, helps decrease it. That's good. Mm-hmm. Remember, we don't want a low-grade fire going on in the body. So moderate, regular physical activity fights that negative inflammation, low-grade inflammation. So what, are you doing anything special for physical activity, Michelle?
Yeah, so our gym was closed for a very long time. It opened up, but we're still not comfortable being there because I'm protecting my parents. And so my sister and I, she lives in Colorado, so we go walking at 5 together every day. We just put our headphones in, call each other, and we talk the whole time. Yesterday, we walked for a few miles together and just had a ball, just catching up to each other, everything that we've done during the weekend. So there's various ways to do it. You can meet up with friends at a park, still be outdoors, or go hiking. We go hiking with my parents every weekend. That's become our to-do thing, to do something social and get together and see each other in person. So that's been nice too. And we're outside. So again, it reduces the risk of getting sick or anything like that during winter months, and especially right now.
Right. So you're getting fresh air.
Yes.
And you may be in nature, so that has benefits.
Always in nature, lots of sunshine.
That's great.
Georgia.
That's great. Yes. So tomorrow I have an appointment to walk in Regional Park with a friend early in the morning. So do you go walking? Is it 5 a.m.?
Oh, no. 5 p.m.
Oh, p.m.
5 p.m.
I was going to say, wow, Michelle, that's really something. Okay, that's great. All right. So a few more tips on this. It doesn't matter what you do. Don't get hung up on trying to do some specific thing that somebody else is doing, or, just get moving. And the starting goal, this is evidence-based, is 150 minutes a week of physical activity. So break it down into any way that works for you. 30 minutes, 5 days a week, maybe. They used to say at least a minimum of 10 minutes. Science doesn't indicate that. If you walk for 2 minutes, there is the benefit. So just break it down each day in the way that works best for you. Make sure it's moderate intensity. That enhances the immune system, not the elite exercise physical activity. And any amount is beneficial. I just said all that. And here's an interesting fact that is very encouraging. As little as 20 minutes of moderate physical activity can suppress inflammation and support immunity. Yay!
Yes.
20 minutes. All right. So I am working on this. I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm working on it. And then, of course, make it fun. Mm-hmm. And that's what Michelle was just saying, right? This looks like you, a family.
Yeah, kind of.
So you want to do what you enjoy doing, include a friend or loved ones, of course. Mix it up. You don't have to do the same thing all the time. In fact, doing the same thing all the time leads to boredom. Boredom leads to stopping what you're doing. And that applies to all activities in life. And make it the highlight of your day or week. So you were telling us, Michelle.
Yeah, we pick a different hike every time. We've seen places in Georgia we didn't even know were there before. And so that's been really fun. And one of us picks an adventure and we get together and we do it together. And these are not long hikes. They're not, my parents are older and they're not in great shape, but my dad at first couldn't even do a mile, and he's actually, the longest hike he went on was 10 miles. Just
Wow.
recently. And this is all like, this improvement has happened in like 6 months. So our average hikes are about 2 miles. They're not very long.
Right. Does he notice a difference in how he feels?
Oh, definitely. Even just walking the short distances now, it's not hard for him, and it's not painful, and he doesn't have to stop a lot. So yeah, a big difference.
That's great. All right. So we want to get more physically active. All right. The last one that we're going to talk about is eat more fiber foods. So, like any fighting force, the immune system army marches on its stomach. I love that thought. So we have an immune system army, a lot of specialized cells, and they need the proper nourishment in order to do their job. Just think about, our defense system for this country. Think of all the people engaged in it. If they weren't fed well, right? Would they be able to defend us? No, not really. So our immune system warriors need good, regular nourishment. But remember, don't look for single magic bullet foods, supplements, herb, oils, or pills. That is not true. It doesn't work. And here's what evidence shows. Eating for a healthy immune system is based on 3 principles of a healthy diet. First, the diet has to be rich in micronutrients. Micronutrients means vitamins and minerals. And so the immune system can be strengthened by optimal micronutrient levels. And this is based on evidence of these vitamins and minerals. So vitamin A, B6, B12, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, and folate. That's another B vitamin. And these minerals are especially important: iron, zinc, copper, and selenium. So whatever we eat needs to be rich in vitamins and minerals. Secondly, it needs to be rich in fiber, because we now know that a high fiber diet increases the beneficial gut bacteria, which supports healthy immune responses. So important. And the third point is that whatever healthy eating pattern we follow, it also needs to be rich in anti-inflammatory foods. And I've been mentioning inflammation throughout this talk. We want the foods we eat to have anti-inflammatory effects, not pro-inflammatory effects. Because remember, we don't want to promote low-grade inflammation. We don't have little fires going on in the body. That just makes it hard for the immune system to function at its best. So we know that anti-inflammatory foods enhance healthy immune responses and decrease the risk of disease. A lot of evidence for this. So lo and behold, that is the approach of the full plate, full plate living's approach. That is the concept of the 75% plate. We are constantly encouraging you to fill 75% of your plate with natural, whole, unprocessed, fiber-rich plant foods, which actually have anti-inflammatory effects. And that's the fruits, the vegetables, the whole grains, the beans, and small amounts of nuts and seeds. All right, so we're going to go a little deeper into each one of these nutrients and share what we consider the best sources, anti-inflammatory, high fiber sources. So for vitamin A, think orange fruits and vegetables and leafy greens. Orange fruits and vegetables and dark leafy greens to get your vitamin A. And that's in the form of beta carotene. Beta carotene is an orange yellow pigment. So they're in orange and yellow fruits and vegetables. And in the dark leafy greens, the beta carotene is there. It's just hidden by the green chlorophyll. For vitamin B6, we want to get the dark leafy greens again. Sweet potatoes, white potatoes, avocados, bananas, and beans. These are all good sources for vitamin B6. Now listen carefully, see if you hear some patterns going on here.
Oh, yes.
Vitamin C, I mean, this is, we all have a basic understanding of this. Citrus is great. Great source. Kiwi, papayas, strawberries. What most people don't realize is broccoli is a great source of vitamin C. Brussels sprouts, kale, sweet peppers are rich in vitamin C. Red peppers, green peppers, tomatoes, and even white potatoes provide vitamin C. All right, for vitamin E, you want to think whole grains, nuts, and seeds. These are rich sources of vitamin E: almonds, peanuts, hazelnuts, sunflower seeds, as well as nut butters, their respective nut butters, and again, dark leafy greens. For folate, that's a very important B vitamin. One of the best sources for folate are beans, peas, lentils. Dark leafy greens again, bananas, avocados, peanuts, and sunflower seeds. And then for the mineral, copper, sweet potatoes, shiitake mushrooms are especially rich in copper, beans, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Look at those sweet potatoes coming right out of the ground. Iron, beans and greens are great anti-inflammatory sources of iron. Beans, dark leafy greens, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. Selenium, I'm telling you, the champion for selenium is Brazil nuts. In fact, they are so loaded with selenium that if you eat too many every day, you can have toxic levels of selenium in your body. You don't want that. So just one Brazil nut a day is all you need, which is what I do. Other sources of selenium include beans, dark leafy greens, whole grains, nuts, and seeds. Am I sounding like a broken record? Yes.
Almost.
Zinc. Yeah, so I'm going to ask you a question, Michelle. I hope you're listening well.
Oh,
okay, so another great sources for anti-inflammatory sources for zinc: beans, nuts and seeds, quinoa, brown rice, wild rice, oats, popcorn, 100% whole grain breads, and pastas. So the whole grains are wonderful sources, as well as beans, nuts, and seeds. So these foods, which I've just talked about, which we talk about here at Full Plate, these foods help your immune system to do its best work. They support a healthy functioning immune system. And if the immune system has the support it needs, it's in the environment it needs, it does great work for us. So we've actually given you some guidelines as to what to aim for every day. At least 1 cup of cooked beans, 2 cups of raw greens or 1 cup cooked greens every day, nuts, 1/4 cup daily, or 2 tablespoons of nut butters, and that 1 Brazil nut. Veggies, at least 2 cups a day. It can be raw, it can be cooked, and you can do more than 2 cups a day. Fruits, 3 to 4 fruits a day, and then whole grains, 1 cup cooked daily, and 2 slices of 100% whole grain bread. You want it to be 100% whole grain bread. It can be 100% whole wheat, but whole grain. All right, so those are the basic guidelines. And then I must talk briefly about vitamins B12 and D. These are both important for optimal immune function. Both of these vitamins have very complicated absorption and metabolism in the human body. There's a lot of factors that affect this. These are all beyond the scope of this particular talk. But what we know from good scientific evidence is that optimal blood levels are hard to maintain without supplementation. So you want optimal levels of these nutrients, B12 and D, and evidence shows that it's really hard to get your levels optimal and keep them there without additional supplementation. So this is the recommendation that we want to leave you with. Go see your doctor and determine what your present B12 levels are and vitamin D levels are. And then work with your doctor on how to supplement for these nutrients within the context of what you're eating. And that's really the best way to handle this. Okay, here are the references for this talk. And then, Michelle, tell us a little bit about fullplateliving.org.
Yes, so if you're here today, then you know a little bit about Full Plate Living, and you do know that we are all about foods particularly fiber-rich foods. And we would love to teach people how to add more of these foods to their diet. As you saw, it's important for immunity. It's important for all aspects of our health, really. So that's why we love these foods. So I want to encourage you to go to fullplateliving.org. If you have a membership with us, then log into your account and take some of the lessons that we have. Start one of our programs. You know, get to know how to add more of these fiber-rich foods to your plate, to your day, to your week, to your lifestyle. And if you don't have an account with us, it's free. You get to start an account on our website, and our resources are free. We're not asking you for money or anything else, just to create an account so that you can access the resources in a private way. So I encourage you to go to fullplateliving.org and learn more of how you can add more of these foods that are very rich in micronutrients, that are rich in fiber, and that they reduce inflammation instead of promoting it. And again, these are 75% foods, and they're fiber foods, and we love them, and we want to share with more and more people how to eat more of them.
Great. Thank you, Michelle. And so I just want to leave you with the summary: 6 ways to keep your immune system strong. Mind your stress, don't smoke, get quality sleep, connect with others, get physically active, and eat more fiber foods. Thank you so much for listening.